In this presentation, we will record the payment of a payable within our not-for-profit practice problem within QuickBooks Pro, QuickBooks Desktop. Here we are in our practice problem. We currently have the open windows open. You can open the open windows by going to the View dropdown and selecting the Open Windows list. We're first going to take a look at Excel to see what our objective will be. You'll recall last time that in the trial balance up top, we've been entering our data into the trial balance up top and ending up with our adjusted trial balance. Then with our adjusted trial balance, we saw that the expenses were broken out by their nature. We also wanted to see them broken out by what they're used for, what their function is. And we made a worksheet in order to do that. Now note, if we wanted a trial balance that would show that information by their nature, then one way to do that, if we want a trial balance by function and nature, as we do in this worksheet, is we could copy these ending numbers here, create another trial balance, which starts at those ending numbers being the beginning numbers, and that's where we can do that allocation journal entry that you can see here. We won't go into that allocation journal entry because in QuickBooks, we can do this basically with the use of the class feature and the jobs feature. So we're not going to enter this journal entry, but just note that now we're working on the second trial balance now, and you can see how this journal entry would be recorded in it. We're going to be concentrating here now on the payable to Craftsman. So the payable to Craftsman, fairly straightforward transaction here. We have a payable to the Craftsman that have been making the crafts that we basically have been selling on consignment. We need to then pay them for the sales that have been made. To do that then, we got a straightforward type of journal entry. The crafts payable is going to be going down, so we're going to debit it. This is a liability account. In other words, we're going to make it go down by doing the opposite thing to it, a debit. So I'm going to be in R50. I'm going to say equals. We're going to scroll over to that 9784, making it go down to 0. Then we're going to have the cash down below. So we're going to go back up top, and the cash is going to be our first account in R41 equals, scrolling back over, and we're going to pick up the cash of that 9784. So there we have that. So now we have the cash decreasing here, the payable going down to 0, no effect on the income statement from that transaction. So that's going to be fairly straightforward. Let's take a look at it in QuickBooks. If we go back to QuickBooks then, and we go up top, and we're going to go to the reports first, and let's take a look at the trial balance. Well, let's go to the balance sheet. Let's go to the company and financial, and then go down to the balance sheet standard. And then we're going to change the date up top to 12/31/20. And let's change the font size, customizing the report, go into fonts and numbers, change the font size to 11. Then we're going to say OK, yes please, and OK. Then if we scroll down to the liabilities section, we see that we have the payable to the Craftsman. So there's our payable amount. We're going to be decreasing that payable amount. Now, we didn't set it up as a AP type of account. In this kind of situation, you may try to do that. It might be helpful or not. Here we have it as an other current liability. Also note that the payments that you might make to the Craftsman might include multiple payments that you would make that you need to track out in that fashion as well. We're going to make a one lump sum payment here in our transaction, which means we're simply just going to write a check. So we're going to go to the home page. I'm going to write a check, and we're going to make this as of, let's say, the 27th. Let's say call it Craftsman. I hope I spelled that right. Possibly not. I'm going to quick add. Now again, there could be multiple Craftsmen that we would obviously be paying, not with the name of Craftsman. We're going to basically put them up as vendor. You might put them up as an other as well, because you might think of them as a little bit different from a vendor because we're working with them selling their items, but I'll keep it in there as a vendor. Then we'll put the amount, and the amount is going to be for that 9784. So 9784, that's the amount we'll pick up. 9784, tab. And then the other side, notice it says expenses here, but anything other than basically an inventory item, any account other than an inventory item will typically go here. In this case, we're looking for an accounts payable accounts, or not accounts payable, but a payable, an other current liability payable type of account. And we're looking for the Craftsman payable. So it should be the deferred payable to Craftsman. There we go. tab, and then we don't really need a class because it's going to be 2 balance sheet accounts, so it shouldn't have a class, shouldn't affect anything. So I'm going to go ahead and say save and close, yes, and save. It says 1 or more items have not been assigned a class. We could give it a class. I can go down here and say we want to say let's go to fundraising, but it shouldn't have an effect. And then we'll say save and close, yes. And then if I, also I want to check that check. Well, if we go to the balance sheet and I scroll back up, notice I took it to the wrong account then. I saved the clearing account as the account I've been going to. I'm going to change that to the checking account now. Double clicking on that. I'm going to change that first date so I can get back into the detail to the 19th. We're going to go to that 9784 here. We're going to change the account from the clearing account to the checking account. That's the one we want. Okay. Okay. And then let's record it again. Save and close. Yes. Yes. We'll keep, we might have to reallocate the number. I'm going to keep the number. We'll close this back out. There we have it. Now it's in the checking account. Double click in the checking account. And if I want to see the detail, I go to prior period. There it is, the check to the Craftsman. Closing this back out. The other side is going to be on the liability side. Now notice the account is basically gone now because it's now at 0. So if you want to see that account, then you can go to the reports up top, accounting and taxes. We can go to the trial balance report. Change the dates up top from 01/01/20 to 12/31/20. I'm going to customize the report up top, go to fonts and numbers. We're going to change the font size, change it to 11. We'll say okay, yes please, and okay. Then if we scroll down, we should find in the liability section, we have the 0 account here for the payable to Craftsman. If we double click on that 0 amount, then we'll see the detail of it. There's the detail for that item.